Welcome everyone to That Nintendo Show. We're finally doing it. The Pokemon Legends ZA discussion, the one that I should have made from the beginning. But anyway, we're here. My name's Mitch. Joining me for this special Pokemon video are my friends Cloud and Rose with Thorns.
Hello.
Hello.
So before we get into it, though, I thought it'd be interesting if we just do a quick little icebreaker, because you guys have never done YouTube content like this before. Just want to get everything going. So want to start off with just your favorite Mega Evolution. We know they're coming back for the new game. Hopefully going to get some new ones, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So Cloud, let's start with you. Your favorite Mega Evolution.
Oh man. Okay. So that's a tough one. I really like Mega Absol. I think it's beautiful, even though everyone says it's emo.
It is very emo.
Yeah, very, but it's beautiful. And I had to say it's a tie between that and Mega Charizard X.
I told you. I was talking to Rose earlier before you hopped in here, and I was like, it's those two.
You know me so well.
Rose, what about you?
Mega Manectric and Salamence.
So, as I pointed out, Salamence just looks like Roaring Moon, but just
It looks more like Roaring Moon than Roaring Moon.
wow, it does. I would like to throw out a contender, and the obvious answer, if you know me, would be like Gengar, but I'm not picking Gengar because Gengar's cool, especially shiny Mega Gengar. He looks like a giant tooth. But shout out to Mega Steelix. It's just super cool, and he gets all these little rotating rocks around him. Love that. Peak Pokemon design, or I had to say Mega Rayquaza. Because, I mean, it's kind of cheating. It's a legendary Pokemon, but, like, it just looks cool. And then, Rose, you also said Mega Audino. You like that one, too.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing, but she looks adorable, and I would dress up like her.
I'm sure it exists where you could do that.
At least I didn't say the bunny. Gosh.
You right?
Oh yeah, you did mention Mega Lopunny too. But for the sake of this video, I'm not putting a picture of Mega Lopunny on the screen because we know who you are, and people will abuse this information. What if they did Mega Vaporeon though? No, I'm kidding. We're getting off track.
Whoa.
We're getting off track. Anyway, Pokemon Legends ZA just got announced last week. This is an actual video instead of me just splicing audio from a podcast that I was on and putting it in here. Where I'm pretty sure in that video I spent more time talking about how I was playing Helldivers and not recording a Pokemon video. This is to make up for it. So first, I mean, kind of just an overview. I know, Rose, you watched the trailer just a little bit ago. You're a little bit confused on it. Cloud, have you watched this trailer, or are we just kind of going off of? Okay, what are your initial thoughts about Pokemon Legends ZA?
I'm very excited about how it's going to be in Lumio City. I like how it kind of went from the past to the future, back to the past. So it's going to be interesting. We can probably time travel through Lumios. So.
And it's confirmed that the entire game takes place in Lumio City, so there is no going to all the rest of Kalos.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there are hints that it is going to be a lot of time travel stuff involved. We're going to get more into like the whole story with X and Y and what going to the past kind of means with that. Rose, initial thoughts on the Pokemon Legends ZA trailer?
It kind of reminded me of Ralph Rex the Internet, I'm going to be honest.
It's going into cyberspace.
As weird as that sounds. But I think I'm just confused because I'm not like original player. Like I started out with Black and White. Like that was the first time that I was interested in Pokemon, so.
Did you play X and Y?
I don't think so.
What are you doing?
Hey,
it's all
X
good.
and Y. I started out on X and Y, so I'm stoked about this.
I started out on Black and White, and that's why Zora has always been my favorite.
I feel like such an old man being like, yeah, I started on Pokemon Yellow. Back in ye olden days, just like Pokemon Legends ZA. Going back in time to the Pokemon War, potentially, and helping to rebuild Lumio City from what ended up being a catastrophic event where a guy just got really pissed that somebody killed his favorite Pokemon, so he wiped the entire continent of life to, set the record straight. As he should, like.
I guess you could say he's the John Wick of Pokemon.
It kind of is. The name, though, everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is Pokemon Legends Z or Pokemon, Z or whatever," because we never got Pokemon Z, and I get it. But like the main character of, or one of the main characters of X and Y was a character named AZ, and this is Pokemon Legends ZA. So now we're going backwards. So maybe it is. I think the whole time travel thing is like a fair bet with it. But the cool thing, and that's something someone pointed out online though, is that Lumio City is based off of Paris, and what's underneath Paris? Catacombs. We could totally be getting like an underground thing, so maybe this is bigger than we're expecting.
So now this is miraculous, what I'm hearing. I also just now got it that you said Z, and it's because it's X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
We're rounding it out. All right. So next topic I got here for us is talking about what starters we might see. So to kind of lay this out, so in Pokemon Legends Arceus, you don't get to play as the Gen 4 starters. So you don't get your Turtwigs and Chimchars and Piplups in that. They make you pick starters from other regions because you travel to the Hisui region to set up everything. So the starters for that game, or the final evolutions, were Decidueye, Typhlosion, and Samurott from different regions. They got new regional forms with new types and everything. So trying to just brainstorm like what our starter Pokemon might be just based off of this information. And I came up with some with the help of Reddit. But if you have any other options or different type combinations you'd like to see, just feel free to chime in. So I wrote down Litten with a fire, or I guess it would be Incineroar with a fire steel typing, Empoleon with a water fighting type, and Serperior with a grass fairy type. Trying to keep it, for the most part, balanced, but y'all think this would be good ones, or you think they should do it like in a completely different route?
I mean, that would be pretty cool, like to see a different version of Incineroar. I saw somewhere, I think on TikTok or Instagram, where I think the water type was Primarina. The water type was a Blaziken that looked like a plague doctor. And I can't remember the grass type, but it was pretty cool too.
So originally on here, I think, who did I have as the fire? I can't remember who I had as the fire starter before I changed it to Incineroar. Oh, it was Blaziken. I had him on here, but I thought that they would pick starters who don't already have Mega Evolutions, because they would want to use that as an example. And Blaziken is the only non-Gen 1 starter that has a Mega form. So not only do I hope that they do an Incineroar that stands on all 4 feet like a cat, they will do a Mega form or something, because if this game needs one thing, it's more cats that actually just stand like cats and not bipedal. Rose, anything to chime in on here? Any starters you want to see?
I've been seeing what you guys have been saying besides the grass. I've been seeing a lot of people saying Snivy.
I mean, I think it's a fair shot. There was one that I saw that I actually like better than all of these, though. And it's the starter Pokemon is the Floette. It's AZ's special Floette that he tried to ruin the world to save. And that's the Pokemon you start off with. Like, it doesn't give you an option. You just get to start with a Floette, or whatever it evolves into. What is the evolved form? Flabebe? I can't think of whatever the name is of it.
Florges.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's a 3-stage evolution. You just start off with that.
That would be really cool.
It would be interesting. It would completely throw what we do with Pokemon on its head, which is what usually Legends games do. And then comes my favorite part about predicting this game, and that is predicting new Mega Evolutions for Pokemon that really should have gotten one, who really need one, or it would just be really fun to see. I've got a couple, but before I get to mine, I want to see what you guys think and see if we've thought about the same thing. So Cloud, let's start with you. What are some new ideas for Mega Evolutions that you would love to see show up?
So I think I'm gonna be saying what everyone else is thinking. Since there's X and Y, why not bring in Mega Charizard Z and Mega Mewtwo Z? That would be really cool, even though Charizard has so many different forms by now. That would be really cool, seeing a different Mewtwo, maybe even a different Mew, Obviously different forms of Xerneas and Yveltal. That would be pretty sick.
Oh, you're playing it safe. You picking all the ones we're definitely gonna get.
I told you, I'm addressing the elephant in the room.
I'm addressing the Mega Charizard in the room. It's
yeah.
what typing do you think that Mega Charizard Z would be? So Charizard X is Fire Dragon and Charizard Y is Fire Flying. So do they just pick one of those again, or do they give it a different third or different second typing?
Dragon flying that can learn fire moves.
I mean, that's not a bad guess, honestly. I was gonna say something like either Fire Psychic or Fire Dark, just to mix it up. Or they could go just complete nuts with it and do something like, I don't know, Fire Grass.
Give it a Zygarde cell and see what happens.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly how it works. You think Zygarde will get another form too?
It's a possibility.
It's already got a Megazord. Does it need another one? Like Mega Zygarde or a Zygarde 101%? And it's
200%.
Oh yeah. All right, Rose, what you got? Who needs a Mega Evolution?
These are just like what I would like to see, not very like statistic or anything, I'll be honest. But I think it would be cool if they gave one to like each evolution.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you were making the joke about Vaporeon earlier about it. And then honestly, I kind of want to. I mean, you have one for Charizard and you have one for Blastoise. They should have one for Raichu.
That's one that I want. I personally want a Mega Raichu. They need to do that. I'm gonna give a special shout out to everyone's favorite dragon that should have gotten one. His name's Flygon. For whatever reason, he didn't get a Mega.
Rest in peace.
I know, right?
Gonna throw that out there. Another Mega that would be pretty cool that should have gotten one is Yanmega. Mega Yanmega, come on.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing? Like, we gotta get this together. One that I've seen floating around that would be cool, and actually I think it was something that had been data mined out of X and Y, and that is a Mega Jinx.
Oh God.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Oh, no.
So, Electabuzz and Magmar both got new evolutions in Gen 4. Pokemon tries to just pretend that Jinx doesn't exist because of the controversy whenever it first came out, which is understandable. And some people agree that they should just keep it buried and be done with it. And others say they need to do something else with that Pokemon to right the wrong with it, essentially. So either give it a new actual evolution or let it Mega Evolve. But I think that there's opportunity there, and they should do that. I had some other ones, and then you pretty much said them all, which I'm not complaining about. But it's just like, well, that was pretty much unless like maybe Dusk Noir, because I love ghost types.
Well, if just by the off chance, if they put in the starters for the original X and Y, it would be so cool, so amazing to see a Mega Delphox.
That's a good point. Why didn't the starters for X and Y get Mega Evolutions?
That's what I'm saying, because I would love to see a magical fire mage just poof.
That's what I'm saying for Raichu. Also, I think another good Mega Evolve would be Goodra.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, that would be so cool. What if Snorlax got a Mega Evolution?
He just turns into a runner.
He actually wakes up.
Oh my god, have you seen that cursed video of Snorlax's Z move where his eyes open up and he runs at you at full sprint?
Mm.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Imagine if I don't know what the name is for the evolution, but Litleo.
Oh, like Pyroar.
Yeah.
Guy. I'm cool with that as long as he drops the normal type. Like that is like I go back, that's like the worst type in the game, in my opinion. But I hope that like when they do this, because my next thought was like, what if like Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan got them? But I'm trying to break myself out of. There's 1,000 Pokemon in this game, and Gen 1 does not need to be the only generation that gets Mega Evolutions. Like, because my next thing was like, oh, what about if Typhlosion got one? It's like, no, give it to something new. Newer. Like, but I guess it's just like the way that with y'all, like you're favorite generations were Pokemon X and Y and Black and White. So I mean, I imagine a lot of the inspiration for y'all's coming from those games. Versus for with me, it's like I'm like a Pokemon boomer. It's just a Gen Oneer, I guess is like what we're called. And it's like, yeah, that's why like I want to see every Gen 1 Pokemon with a Mega Evolution. Even if it's just them growing longer hair, it's just like half of them do.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to have a Mega Zoroark, but I just feel like there's not a lot that gets added for Zora.
Just
Just because
longer
she's
hair.
basically like the second Ditto.
Well, I mean, yeah. What if Ditto got a Mega?
Oh, okay. Mega Jumpluff and Mega Whimsicott.
Oh my god. Say less.
Could
I
you
would
imagine?
love a Mega Babu. Babu is Whimsicott, for the
I'm
record.
gonna put this image into your head, and I'm not apologizing for this.
Oh my god.
Mega Mr. Mime.
Stop.
Mega Mr. Mime.
Oh my god, please. Please no.
It's just a bunch of unknowns.
God, I had another one and I forgot what it was. I lost. You said that and I lost my whole train of thought.
You are so welcome.
Oh my god. That is a cursed. Now, would it be Mr. Mime or Mr. Rhyme?
He's just gonna start rapping.
He just turns into Eminem.
Breakout dance.
I turned into Eminem. Oh. No, it would be Mr.
Joke's
Joker.
on you, it was a Ditto the whole time.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Mega Doug Trio is just that picture you see of like the 3 Doug Trio heads, and below the ground it's just the 3 really
Ooh.
muscular bodies just hugging each other.
That makes me feel comfortable.
Well, there you go. We got back to each other on that. So. Okay, and let's get back on this. So last thing, I know I am way more versed with this, I'm sure, than you guys, and that is about Nintendo Switch 2. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. Whether you actually pay attention, I don't know. But this game, whenever they announce, it's coming out in 2025. So this is the first year in probably like 15 years that there has not been a mainline Pokemon game release, whether it's a remake, a spin-off, or a main game coming to a console. 2025 is the year we're expecting the Switch 2 to come out. Right around like the March timeframe, which this game seems to be lining up to be like a launch title for this Nintendo Switch 2 or Super Switch or whatever they call it. Other than like, I guess just better graphics or a more stable frame rate, which apparently seems to be hard to hit on a regular Nintendo Switch. What kind of features, if any, would you like to see a Switch 2 version of this game potentially have on it? Unless it's your answer is just for it to run better.
Yeah. I love the Switch. I love how like you can display it on the TV or have it as a handheld. But come on. The frames per second, the FPS, it kills me.
It's bad.
Yeah. I would love to see a better screen quality, better quality.
I think just, I mean, obviously the correct answer for anything this is just a better frame rate and better visuals, and it doesn't look like an awful game. But one thing I really hope is present on the Switch 2 or even the Switch 2 version of this is just that the online, if there's going to be online play, it needs to be better. The amount of times that the 3 of us and others have tried to play Pokemon Violet or Scarlet and Violet and having like network issues or things just take forever to load and to do anything is just atrocious, and it's unacceptable in the year of 2024 or soon to be 2025. Rose, you got anything else you want to add on this?
Not much. I mean, besides the frame rate, like you said, like especially, I mean, not just with just Pokemon, but especially now that the Switch is trying to pick up so many other games that are like on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. It just cannot handle all that.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this though. This is the final question here. If when they announce the Switch 2 and they say, "Hey, this is Pokemon Legends ZA running on the Switch 2. This is Pokemon Legends ZA running on the Switch 1." If it's a noticeable difference between the two, if you were maybe you are already planning on picking this up on like the day it comes out, like for the Switch 2, I mean. But if you weren't, would this game performing significantly better on the Switch 2 persuade you to buy a Switch 2 earlier than maybe you were expecting to get one? Or would the Switch 2 need something else other than just this one game to run better?
I would say more than just this game.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like more pricier than the regular Switch.
Okay. So let me back up. Let's just assume that the Switch 2 is releasing in March as is predicted, and it's going to be $400 as is predicted. Is it a day one purchase? Even if with or without Pokemon Legends being a launch title for it, or would you wait?
Personally, I would wait a little bit just to see everybody, try it out for themselves, and to see the quality. And if it's piqued my interest, then maybe.
Well, good thing you know a up and coming Nintendo YouTuber who just buys these things whenever they first come out and loves to guinea pig it. So
I was gonna say at that price, I probably would get it just then and there. But it also just depends on so many people when the PS5 came out and everything, like how hard it was to get. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
Oh, I will. No. I remember, and we're talking almost 8 years ago now. I didn't know you guys back then. I was like the first person in the group to have a Switch. I was the guinea pig. And this is coming off of the Wii U, which was a failure on all fronts. So I bought the Switch, and then everyone came over and they played the Switch and go, I got to get one. So I think there's going to be a lot of that again. It's like, well, what is the reason why I want to get a Switch 2? Well, it plays your games better, but is that worth $400? Well, come over and try it. Figure it out.
It'll be worth $400 if I can play Diablo on it correctly.
Diablo 3 or 4?
Either one.
Well, who knows? Diablo 4 might come out, but we'll see. We hopefully don't have to wait too long before we'll figure out more about the Switch 2 itself. But anyway, any final things you'd like to add about Pokemon Legends ZA before we wrap this up?
Very excited about the whole Lumio City. I started out on X and Y, and I absolutely loved it. That's what got me hooked on Pokemon, so I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it.
Do you think, because I've been seeing it go around a lot, do you think the logo in the game, the Z and the green A, is going to be an actual new Pokemon?
So the Z itself, that pattern on it is the same pattern that's on Zygarde. The A, which looks like vines coming out of the ground, no clue. I know that there's a lot of people that are just running around rampantly on X and Reddit speculating what all that means, but I'm not sure. I don't really have a good answer for that. But I know the Z looks like Zygarde, so I would assume that Zygarde has a major role to play in this, but I don't know for sure about the vines, though. I guess it kind of relates to Xerneas a little bit, isn't it? Like the elemental deer of life or something?
Yes.
Probably butchered that. Don't come at me. I love Pokemon, but I don't keep track of all 1,000 of their Pokédex entries, so just keep that in mind. But anyway, ladies, thanks for joining me on this. We'll have you on soon with other Pokemon or Switch or / Nintendo related content. But thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And a special thank you to everyone watching and or listening to this special episode of That Nintendo Show. Leave a comment down below with what Pokemon you want to see as the starters in Pokemon Legends ZA. And don't forget to subscribe. Never miss an episode of That Nintendo Show. Lots of exciting things happening in the future with Switch 2, Pokemon Legends, and everything else in the world of gaming. And finally, don't forget to vote in the poll where I've asked, are you planning on replaying Pokemon X or Y before Pokemon Legends ZA releases next year? Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon with more Nintendo content.